Now that we know how notes work, we need to apply that to the bass. So we need a few points that we're comfortable with, I think. So let's start with open strings. You probably know it already, but if you don't, you have E, A, D, and G. And if you need a handy little mnemonic to remember that, every Alsatian dog growls. So that should be the easiest point of all, E, A, D, G, open strings. Now, those strings are tuned in fourths, which means this. So from the E to the A is 4 notes. If you go up the musical alphabet, counting E as 1, you get E, F, G, A. That's what a fourth is, E to A. A to D, we get the same thing, A, B, C, D, and D to G, D, E, F, G, all fourths, okay? So that's a very, very important concept, because anywhere that there is an E, the next string just going across like this will be an A. If I find another E, A will always be underneath it. Here again, E to A. So this concept of fourths is a big one. Moving on to the next point, we've got the 5th fret. So that's on most basses, including this one, you'll have dots. So my second dot is the 5th fret. So very, very easy with these fret markers, as they're called, to see where you are on your bass. So when I get to the 5th fret of the E string, that's an A. Now it's exactly the same as the open string that's next to it, right next to it. It's the same pitch, same note, which makes it quite an easy point to remember. Same with the next one, you've got the 5th fret of the A string is the same as the D, okay? And then same again, 5th fret D string is the same as the open string G. So if you learn your open strings, E, A, D, G, then it stands to reason that you should know the 5th fret notes fairly easily going on from that. So you've got A, D, G. Now the next one, going by that fourths rule I just mentioned, it should be 4 notes away from G. G, A, B, C, which it is, it's C. And if you wanted to know about 6-string bass guitars, the next string here, the higher one, is a C. So that would be the 5th fret. We got the open strings, 5th fret, and then probably the easiest one of all is the double dots here. You've got 2 dots at the 12th fret. And as we said, there's 12 notes in music. So by the time you get to the 12th fret, it's the exact same one as the open string. So you've got G, and then that would be a G, D, that's a D, A, E, and E, an octave apart. So if you're just starting out, learn those 3 points really, really well. Open string, 5th fret, 12th fret. Then you can just ask yourself where any note is and you'll be able to find it. So if we go through a couple of examples, if we stick on the E string for a second and try to find F, all you need now is to know the alphabet, right? So you need F and it's just after E. I'm assuming that you've looked at the video how to find notes and with the keyboard. And so you know that an F is right after an E, so that would be right there, 1st fret, E string. So let's say we wanted to find E flat. Now you could go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and D sharp, which is E flat. Or you can just think about your 3 points here. You've got E, A, 5th fret, and the 12th fret at E, and you just flatten it. This way on a bass is lower, and this is higher, so you flatten a note by going down this way 1 fret. So E flat would be at the 11th fret. Same thing with A flat, sticking to this E string a second. So if you want to find A flat, you just go straight to your 5th fret and go down 1 fret, so it's on the 4th fret. Let's just do a couple more examples on the other strings. So A string, your 3 points are the open string A, the 5th fret, which is the same as the D string, D, so that's D, and then 12th fret A. So A, D, and a higher A. So let's just do this quickly. What about a B on the A string? So you're thinking A, well, B is after A in the alphabet, but we've got that sharp, so that's 1st fret. So B is 2nd fret. If we want a D sharp, I go straight to my 5th fret because I know that's a D, and I sharpen it, which is 1 fret this way. Okay, so that's 6th fret. You got that A flat, well that's going straight to the 12th fret and going down one, okay? Now if I need a note that's, let's say, an E on the A string, instead of, again, starting at A and going all the way through A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and finally I'm on E, I can just take one step, much, much easier. So I can go from my D and just take one step to E, okay? Right, just something else whilst I'm thinking about it, which is really, really great to know, is forget your sharps and flats for a second and just have your musical alphabet going from the note A to A again. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. As we saw in the video before, every single note, white note on the piano, has a black note next to it on the right of it, apart from E and F and B and C. They're the ones that don't have the black note in the middle. Now what that means for us as bass players is that, here's an E for example, at the 9th fret of the G string. That's an E, the F is right next door on the 10th fret. Okay, so E and F are right next door to each other, so to speak, and so are B and C. So for example, the 2nd to the 3rd fret of the A string, okay? So that's B and C. Now, every other note apart from E and F and B and C will have a gap between them. I'm just talking natural notes, white notes on the piano here. So for example, C. There's a C on the 5th fret of the G string, and that has this gap in the middle. And that gap is the sharp, okay? Now, once you know that, again, like anything here, it just takes a bit of a while to get that into your head, and once you've got that, it's such an easy thing to find any natural or white note on the piano on the bass. So let's do that on the A string because we start from the first letter of the alphabet. So if I go from the A string, all I'm going to do is this. I want you to try this now as well. I'm going to go from A all the way through the musical alphabet to the next A at the 12th fret, one of our 3 points, okay? So I'm going to not play any sharps or flats. I'm just going to literally play A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And I want you to try and do this as fast as you can. Okay, I'll do it relatively slowly. I'll just use my first finger going up. Now, you should see that there will be a gap between every single note apart from when I hit this B and C and the E and F. So, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So I reckon most of us will be able to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And the great thing about that is that that works on any string in any direction. So, for example, on the G string, there's G, A, B, there's that B to C, no gap, C, D, E, F, G. So you can do that on any string. Make sure you practice that in both directions. So going up like this, and then going the opposite direction. So being able to go A, G, F, E, D, C, B, and then A. That should get you started knowing 3 great points on the bass.